Let us be gathered together. Spirit of wisdom, wonder, and truth, we come this day to this grand open space to celebrate our graduating students and our honored guests. Today, while we contemplate individual achievement and the unique pathways of learning, we also pause to recognize the common journey shared by all. For today, we assemble as a community, and each of us and all of us have confronted the unknown. Each of us and all of us have accepted the challenge of learning. Each of us and all of us have sought knowledge and worked for understanding. Each of us and all of us have experienced the awakening of insight, sometimes into success and sometimes through failure. We reaffirm this day our commitment to building a community of learning, one sustained by educated minds that are ready to question the rigidities of old certainties and the dogmas of the past, minds that dare to be open to discovery and to new ways of understanding, minds that are supple and critical yet spirited, informed but also humbled by the beauty around us and the mystery within us, minds shaped by the love of learning. And we intend in this place to the educated heart that it be sympathetic, inclusive, and open to difference, kind, ready to laugh, discerning, and giving, able to accept responsibility for a world community that is complex and morally challenging. A new journey awaits those who commence this day, for they are called into an interdependent world that yearns for peace, cooperation, and justice for all. May they build a world where conflicts are resolved without resentment, where forgiveness is the ornament of the brave, where every stranger is greeted as an honored guest, where all take responsibility to use the gifts of mind and heart to confront ignorance and hatred and to tame the destructive power of violence and war. On this day of new beginnings, in this moment when we bid adieu to President Gast and thank her for her years of dedicated service among us, we are filled with expectation for all that awaits. We express gratitude for all that our students and honored guests have achieved, and we call again for wisdom to descend upon us, to fill our hearts and minds, that we might return in service to others all that we have so richly received in privilege and in blessing. Amen.
Please be seated.
Forward, march, left, 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 right, left,
Good morning. As chairman of the Board of Trustees of Lehigh University, I, Brad Eric Scheller, on behalf of the board, declare the 146th commencement exercises of Lehigh University to be open. For you, our graduates, and for your families and friends, today is such a special and memorable day. On behalf of my fellow board members and on behalf of all in the Lehigh community, please accept our heartfelt congratulations to each and to all of you. The significance of today is made all the more so because for Dr. Alice P. Gast, in her role as the 13th president of Lehigh University, this is her 8th and final commencement. As you know so well, in her service and dedication to, and her tireless efforts on behalf of our beloved university, President Gast has been extraordinary. 40 years ago, I had the honor and privilege to shake hands with and to receive my diploma from Deming Lewis, the 10th president of Lehigh University. From that moment, and every day since, I have remained connected to, carried with me, and have had in heart and mind warm thoughts, utmost appreciation, and best memories of Dr. Lewis. And so it will be for each of you in the days and years ahead. As you travel along your life's path and journey, in your mind's eye, each of you will remain connected to Dr. Gast, and in spirit, she will be with you always as a best role model, constant source of inspiration, and a guiding light. With Dr. Gast joining with all of you today in rite of passage and presiding over her final Lehigh commencement in her role as president, please join me in expressing to President Gast our utmost thanks and appreciation for 8 years of warmth of spirit, wisdom, judgment, insights, and leadership. Alice, we wish you and your family, Brad, Rebecca, and David, the very best always. And now it is my pleasure and my honor to introduce you to the 13th president of Lehigh University, Dr. Alice P. Gast. Alice.
Well, thank you very much, Brad. That was a little off script, beyond your time limit, but a wonderful message. Thank you. Appreciate it. Welcome to the 146th commencement of Lehigh University. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and Board of Trustees, I would like to welcome all of our guests today, especially the family and friends of our graduates, our commencement speaker, honorary degree recipients, and the members of the class of 1964 who celebrated their 50th reunion this past weekend. It is my honor to begin these exercises by introducing our graduate student speaker, John Rogers. John's resume shows his dedication to a Lehigh University education. He earned a Bachelor of Science degree in bioengineering and a Master's of Science degree in mechanical engineering. Today he will receive his PhD in mechanical engineering, all from Lehigh University. John studied abroad at the National University of Ireland. He has been a student mentor, made presentations at professional conferences, and published his research findings with collaborators. John's dissertation work is very impressive. Funded by a grant from the National Science Foundation, he designed and manufactured micro and nano-featured smart Petri dishes capable of controlling the growth and development of stem cells for biomedical applications. One of John's other passions is singing. He was a member of the Lehigh University Choir, the Glee Club, and the a cappella quartet On Tap, a group that performed professionally on a cruise ship. He was also a club wrestler and a polymer lab tour guide. This past January, John began working as an advanced development engineer at a medical extrusion company in Dayville, Connecticut. Please join me in welcoming our graduate student speaker, John Rogers.
Thank you, President Gast, and congratulations to all graduates here today. In the still of the night was what I was singing in front of the executive producers of American Idol the week before arriving for my freshman year at Lehigh in 2004. I ended up arriving late to orientation after not making it to the third round of American Idol. The first semester, I made a point to avoid joining any music groups due to the apparent need to focus on the many challenging courses that would demand my attention. I began to realize, however, that the absence of music was not part of the solution to a successful academic career, and rather, it may have in fact had the opposite effect. By my sophomore year, I had joined the university choir, glee club, and 2 a cappella groups. The time commitment of 4 singing groups combined with a bioengineering curriculum was extremely demanding, but also very rewarding. Oh, was the first thing that my now wife ever heard me say. It was at an a cappella concert in Lamberton Hall, now known as the Hawk's Nest. Approximately 7.5 years and a combined 4 Lehigh degrees later, we got married. It is apparent from my 10 years spent at Lehigh that opportunities are available here to pursue the highest levels of education, explore many different interests, and create unique experiences through all that is offered on South Mountain. Everybody needs a little time away was the first words a cruise ship talent agent heard from the a cappella group On Tap, a quartet started at Lehigh. The 4 of us decided to take our Lehigh education on board the Celebrity Infinity for a half a year, sailing around North and South America, singing to thousands of guests. At this point, you are probably curious as to why I pursued engineering that in no way involves music, considering my obvious passion for singing and performance. I do also have a desire to solve engineering challenges associated with the life sciences. And although seemingly different, the creative outlet afforded to me through singing has given me an increasingly inventive mind that has and continues to help me in my field of research. This university gave me the opportunity to symbiotically engage in both passions. Lehigh has prepared me for a successful career as a PhD engineer, focusing on biomedical-related polymer manufacturing, which I am currently pursuing. I would be remiss, however, if I did not mention how well Lehigh has prepared me as an individual, allowing me to nurture my passion for music while developing a strong engineering base. It is the combination of the defined principles learnt and the undefined innovative moments experienced in both engineering and music alike that has made my Lehigh career such a special time in my life and in the lives of other Lehigh graduates as well. I would like to thank my parents, family, friends, and educators that have all contributed to my academic career, and would like to conclude with a question. How do I say goodbye to our alma mater? Hail, all hail, Lehigh! Thank you.
Wow. John, thank you very much. We're proud of your accomplishments. We're very impressed with your talent, and we wish you best for continued success. Thank you. I would now like to introduce the president of the senior class, Sarah Tishbay. Sarah has worked as an admission fellow in the Lehigh admissions office, where she interviewed prospective Lehigh students. In Lehigh's outdoor adventure program, Sarah led hundreds of first-year students on team-building trips to the Appalachian Mountains. She helped new students to get to know one another and have a smooth transition to campus. Before becoming president of the class of 2014, Sarah was the class vice president of Unity for 3 years. During that time, she and other class officers organized Lehigh Pride Day, among many other achievements. Sarah also loves to sing, and she has been involved in many performance groups on and around campus. She was a member of an a cappella group and the university choir during her first 2 years at Lehigh, and is currently a member of the St. Anne's Church Choir in Bethlehem. In her pursuit to become a lawyer, Sarah has been a summer intern at the Office of the Chief State's Attorney in Connecticut, and was an intern at a family law firm in Easton, Pennsylvania last semester. Sarah will be graduating today with 2 Bachelor of Arts degrees in English and Political Science and a minor in music. This fall, she will be attending law school in New York City. Sarah's leadership and her service to students speaks volumes about the kind of person she is. Please join me in welcoming Senior Class President Sarah Tischbein.
Good morning, family, friends, fellow classmates, and all those near and far who have made this day and the past 4 years possible for the class of 2014. I am incredibly honored to be speaking at our commencement this morning, and I thought that I could offer this part of the ceremony to my fellow graduates as a time for reflection. Looking back almost 4 years ago, we came to Lehigh from all around the world to embark on our journeys as undergraduate students. Though we each had our own unique histories, we were all certainly in the same boat when we arrived here. We knew very few people at Lehigh, if any, and I think I can speak for all of us in saying that this new experience was incredibly daunting and nerve-wracking. But during our time here, the fright slowly dissipated, and we grew into our own, into truer versions of ourselves that were distinct from every other person on this campus. Lehigh became a home to us, with a welcoming environment that encouraged us to be ourselves and follow our dreams. For me, I found my home in the English department, while others have found theirs on a sports team, in a club, in a Greek house, and many other places. Now in this moment, I'm sure we are different people than we thought we'd become, pursuing different things that we never would have expected. Whether you have changed your major 7 times or are taking a job after graduation somewhere you never thought you'd end up, cherish this person you are now and what it has taken to get you here. There is a reason that you have become who you are, and be proud of yourselves for this. Looking forward, no matter how different we are as individuals, I urge you to remember the one thing that will tie us always together as Lehigh graduates. We were given the opportunity to study at an amazing institution where our voices, ideas, and passions counted for something. At a place where professors cared for us so that we could learn most fully, where meaningful conversation was encouraged, not hindered. Today, we are all empowered with knowledge that Lehigh has given us or taught us to acquire, a gift of higher education that is unfortunately not available to enough people. Be grateful for this transformative journey, one that has molded us both personally and intellectually, and recognize that none of us would be here today at Lehigh's 146th commencement without the support of our loved ones. Whether they have been by your side since the day you were born, whether they funded your education or inspired it, whether they just entered your lives during these past 4 years, remember to thank them and hug them today for helping you to achieve such great things. For me, I want to most importantly thank my parents today for their unconditional love and support, and for giving me a passion to use my knowledge to help others. Thank you to my awesome siblings, Chrissy, Megan, and Robert, who have taught me life's most important lessons and have always been by my side. Thank you to my best friends that I grew up with and the amazing friends that I met at Lehigh for always keeping my heart light and my spirit full. Thank you to our wonderful group of class officers, Megan, Nadia, Paul, and Max, for always supporting, challenging, and inspiring me. Lastly, I'd like to thank everyone at Lehigh University, especially the graduates here today, for being a part of my Lehigh family. Congratulations, Lehigh class of 2014. You are truly a special group of people. I am so proud of who we are, what we have achieved as a class, and what the future is sure to hold for all of us. I wish you luck in the years to come, and I hope you work hard and come to measure your success in life through happiness. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you very much, Sarah. We wish you all the best with your pursuit in law school. It is now my privilege to introduce our commencement speaker, Marty Barron, class of 1976. Mr. Barron graduated from Lehigh, earning a Bachelor of Arts degree in journalism with highest honors and a master's degree in business administration at the same time, a unique scenario. He accomplished all this while also finding time during his junior year to be editor-in-chief of Lehigh's student newspaper, The Brown and White. Mr. Barron pursued his chosen profession with that same impressive ambition, and he has achieved by any measure a stellar career in the newspaper industry. He has been either editor or executive editor of 4 of the nation's most prestigious newspapers, the Los Angeles Times, the New York Times, the Miami Herald, and the Boston Globe. And he began as executive editor of a 5th, the Washington Post, in January 2013. With Mr. Barron as editor, the Miami Herald and the Boston Globe won a combined 7 Pulitzer Prizes in the categories of breaking news reporting, public service, explanatory journalism, national reporting, and criticism. Last month, the Washington Post was awarded 2 Pulitzer Prizes for investigative journalism that occurred under Mr. Barron's leadership. What these awards show is that under Marty's leadership, newspapers report critical news that quickly catches the world's attention. He instills in his staff the value of good journalism, truthful, unbiased reporting that informs the public. In addition to all of these professional accomplishments, Marty has given back to his alma mater with frequent visits to campus to speak to our journalism students, and he supports an endowed scholarship that helps make a Lehigh education possible for new students every year. We are privileged to have this esteemed journalist and investigative reporter with us today and are proud to call him a member of the Lehigh family. Please join me in welcoming our 2014 commencement speaker, Marty Barron.
Thank you, President Gast, for the very kind words, and many thanks to all of you for inviting me to be here, and congratulations to today's graduates. As you know, you attended a wonderful university. I am very grateful to Lehigh. It has given me many friends, a superb education, and the only college degrees I have. I can't help but recall that not every college did me such favors. One rejected me with this reassuring line: "We do know you are qualified for further education." So thank you, Lehigh, for taking me in. Now, much of my time here was spent in the basement of the university center, where the school's newspaper, The Brown and White, was then located. I considered then how I might succeed in my chosen profession. What I did not contemplate were the decisions that many years later I would have to make. Today, I can tell you this: your lives will go in unexpected directions. You will be asked to make unimagined decisions. And no matter how well Lehigh has done its job, nothing in your coursework will fully prepare you. You will be tested on what you stand for, whether you stand for anything at all. And I'll tell you 3 stories of my own. and how I had to define what I stand for and how I see the role of journalism and how you might consider your own roles as citizens. A little warning, some of it involves uncomfortable, controversial stuff. That is the world I inhabit. So story number one. In the year 2000, I was in Florida as the top editor of the Miami Herald. By November, the unimaginable happened in a presidential election. No one was sure who had won, George W. Bush or Al Gore. Florida would decide. And the official state count had the difference between the two candidates at only hundreds of votes, with charges of improper counting, confusing ballots, voter suppression. A constitutional crisis was in the works. The presidency in play. The country angrily divided. The Gore campaign sought a recount, and the Florida Supreme Court said okay to a recount of limited scope. And then the case landed in the US Supreme Court, which said no to a recount by a vote of 5-4, with Justice John Paul Stevens declaring in his dissent, quote, "We may never know with complete certainty the identity of the winner in this year's presidential election." Authorities then certified George W. Bush as the winner. My newspaper decided that would not be the final word on the vote. Under Florida's public records law, we asserted a right to examine for ourselves every ballot cast in the state, and we inspected them one by one with a major accounting firm. When our intention to do this became known, we were condemned by Republicans. We were accused of seeking to cast doubt on the legitimacy of a Bush presidency. We were seeking something else entirely. It was the truth. Who had really won? We felt Americans should know. As it happens, our recount determined that Bush really did win by a small but solidly documented margin. Many Democrats have never accepted that conclusion. I am satisfied that we arrived at the truth. And it leads me to this point. There are truths in this world. They can be determined. And if they cannot always be ascertained with 100% certainty, we can come awfully close. Truth knows no party or ideology. Truth must be honestly pursued. And honesty demands we acknowledge the truth, no matter our loyalties or preconceptions or preferences. This requires you to be open to ideas and evidence and facts. Progress depends on it, as does our democracy. Story number two. By 2001, I was editor of the Boston Globe. A Boston priest had been accused of molesting 80 children. The Archdiocese of Boston was in a court fight with victims, and the plaintiff's lawyer alleged that the cardinal himself knew of the priest's shocking history of abuse, and yet reassigned him from one parish to the next. We decided to get at the truth. Beyond this one case, we needed to know whether the church had repeatedly failed to disclose abuse, reassigning priests who had been credibly accused. The church was the most powerful institution in Boston. And yet we went ahead with an investigation, and we went to court. We argued that the law and public interest demanded that documents kept secret by the church be made public. Thankfully, we prevailed. Church files that had been locked away would be made public by court order. And with independent reporting, we documented a pattern of cover-up lasting half a century. That did not win us universal acclaim. In 2002, a future ambassador to the Vatican declared, quote, "Awarding the Pulitzer Prize to the Boston Globe would be like giving the Nobel Peace Prize to Osama bin Laden." Well, we were later awarded that prize, and more important, the public won the truth. Truth changed the way the church and other major institutions now deal with sexual abuse. Victims were given a voice and the hearing they'd long been denied. And one of the world's most powerful institutions was held accountable. No one should be immune from responsibility, least of all the powerful. And no one should be denied a hearing, least of all the powerless. We owe them a duty to listen and to help. There is nothing more powerful in our society than the federal government. It has the power to tax, to wage war, to investigate and prosecute and imprison. Those who founded this country were wary of that power, fearful that it might subvert our civil liberties. They sought limits, writing them into the Constitution. The power of government came to occupy me shortly after I became executive editor of the Washington Post. So story number 3, my final one. A year ago, an unidentified individual sent a journalist named Bart Gellman an encryption key and instructions to create an account on an anonymous computer server. The two began an almost daily encrypted conversation, and then the source claimed to possess information about secret programs at the National Security Agency, programs he viewed as deeply troubling. The source, of course, was Edward Snowden, now a fugitive in Moscow. Over time, Snowden would transmit documents containing the government's most closely held secrets. Gellman would propose stories on these documents to the Washington Post. Publishing those stories would involve huge risks, reputational and legal, to each journalist involved and to our company, as well as potential consequences for national security. The Director of National Intelligence and a leading congressman later suggested, chillingly, that journalists who revealed the contents of those documents were Snowden's accomplices. When the Washington Post and the Guardian newspaper last month won Pulitzer Prizes for this coverage, a member of the House Homeland Security Committee said we should have been prosecuted instead. We published because we felt it served the public interest. Silence, at times, is an unacceptable option. What would be revealed went far beyond particular intelligence sources and methods, the sort of secrets the press had traditionally withheld from publication. They revealed a sweeping national policy, one that dramatically expanded surveillance and sharply eroded individual privacy. This policy raised important questions. Do American citizens get to determine how much privacy they're entitled to? Or does government decide all that for us in secret, as long as it can assert national security as its rationale? The documents would reveal that the National Security Agency was conducting surveillance of breathtaking scope. All of Americans' phone call data was swept into a searchable repository. The NSA gained access to vast internet communications, and it was breaking into the main links that connect data centers worldwide. Major technology companies ultimately wrote the president to say the following: "We understand that governments have a duty to protect their citizens, but the balance in many countries has tipped too far in favor of the state and away from the rights of the individual, rights that are enshrined in our Constitution." Today, we are now having a public debate that was never allowed to take place about the proper balance between national security and individual privacy. Now, many in this country argue that our decision to publish carried unacceptable risks to a nation under persistent threat. And yet many others are grateful that we expose government activities they would never have approved, and that in the wrong hands could be horribly abused. To me, holding power to account is what the press exists to do, and what often only the press can or will do. And it is what our Constitution anticipates in the First Amendment. Accountability is what sets this country apart from authoritarian regimes, where crushing an independent press is step one toward absolute control. Securing our constitutional rights, however, requires more than a vibrant press. It requires vigilant citizens. These rights are a fragile gift. They are yours to safeguard. As I participated in these decisions, I had only one place to turn, to my values. For you, the hard decisions will be different, but you will turn in the same direction to make them, to your values. What you do will matter. Principles will matter. And those of you who stand for something can make a difference, even if at first you stand alone. I can only hope I have made decisions with a measure of wisdom. That is something you will need too. Wisdom does not mean doing what is easiest, or convenient, or popular. It can mean the opposite. It does mean doing what is right for the long run. Wisdom will not come with the degree you pick up today. Acquiring it will depend on what you learn from this day forward, as you are called upon to make decisions you could never have foreseen. Thank you again, congratulations, and good luck.
Thank you very much, Marty, for that inspiring message. It is now my privilege, on behalf of Lehigh University, to award honorary degrees. The recipients of these degrees have made significant contributions to the world and stand as examples to our graduating students. I will call upon the recipients one at a time to come forward. First, Martin Barron, I would like to call you to center stage, please. It is an honor and privilege to recognize Lehigh University Class of 1976 graduate and the executive editor of the Washington Post, Martin Barron. American revolutionist and author Ben Franklin once said, "Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing." Mr. Barron is fulfilling both directives as a leading figure in the news industry, dedicated to passionately reporting the truth at the heart of the story. His work has earned tremendous recognition, and we are grateful for the contributions he has made to the public good. Marty, we were so pleased to acknowledge your achievements with this honorary degree. The provost will now read the formal citation to you from Lehigh University while we present you with the diploma and hood and applaud your accomplishments.
Mr. Martin Barron, in acknowledgement of and appreciation for your work, which illustrates the critical role that good journalism can play in informing, engaging, and protecting the public, the trustees of Lehigh University, upon recognition of the Lehigh faculty, honor you today by conferring upon you the Doctor of Humane Letters degree, honoris causa.
I would now like to call Dr. Martha McCarthy to center stage. It is an honor and privilege to recognize Martha McCarthy, who is one of the nation's leading authorities in the field of education, education leadership, and education law. Dr. McCarthy became the first presidential professor in educational leadership at Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles in 2011. She has published widely on research in the field on topics including student engagement, equity in schools, and teacher preparation. For more than 35 years, she taught and served at Indiana University Bloomington, where the dean of the School of Education said, "No scholar has had an influence on the field of education law and policy studies more than she has." In appreciation, Indiana University renamed its nearly 5-decade-old education leadership summer conference the Martha McCarthy Education Law and Policy Institute. Dr. McCarthy has received national awards for her creation and reform of leadership preparation programs. While president of the University Council for Education Administration, she began the group's national conference, which is now considered the leading professional convention for the development of school leaders. Martha, your advancements in education that widely benefits schools and children from pre-K to college are to be commended. We are honored to name you among Lehigh University's distinguished honorary degree recipients. The provost will now read the formal citation to you while we present you with the diploma and hood and applaud your accomplishments.
Dr. Martha McCarthy, in acknowledgement of and appreciation for your positive influence in local, state, and national educational policy and contributions to elevating the standards of leaders, faculty, and teachers in academia, the trustees of Lehigh University, upon recognition of the Lehigh faculty, honor you today by conferring upon you the Doctor of Pedagogy degree, honoris causa.
I would now like to call Dr. Arvind Sharma to center stage. It is an honor and privilege to recognize Arvind Sharma, the Burks Professor of Comparative Religion at McGill University. A religious scholar and prolific author, Dr. Sharma's expertise lies in the fields of comparative religion, Hinduism, Indian philosophy and ethics, and the role of women in religion. As a recognized advocate of religious tolerance and human rights, Dr. Sharma is committed to making a difference in the inaccurate perceptions and statements made about religions of the world. To raise peace and understanding, Dr. Sharma founded the organization World's Religions after September 11. As president of the organization, he organized 2 conferences in 2006 and 2011 that drew thousands of participants of various faiths to address topics such as religion for world peace, tolerance and solidarity, and radical Islam in the Sahara after 9/11. He's organizing a 3rd conference to be held in 2016. Dr. Sharma is also director of the Terra Firma project at McGill University. The project promotes the freedom of speech and expression of religion through honest, wholesome dialogue. Yesterday, Dr. Sharma gave Lehigh's baccalaureate address. His thoughtful message was about keeping an open mind, words to live by. Arvind, we are so pleased to acknowledge your accomplishments with this honorary degree. The provost will now read the formal citation to you from Lehigh University while we present you with the diploma and hood and applaud your accomplishments.
Dr. Arvind Sharma, in acknowledgement of and appreciation for your continual contribution to humankind for peace, respect, and understanding of each other, and for your literary contributions about religion and human rights, the trustees of Lehigh University, upon recognition of the Lehigh faculty, honor you today by conferring upon you the Doctor of Humane Letters degree, honoris causa.
I I'd like to call Daniel E. Smith, Jr. to center stage. It is an honor and privilege to recognize Lehigh University Class of 1971 graduate, current Lehigh University trustee, and a former chair of the Board of Trustees, Dan Smith. Mr. Smith earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Industrial Engineering from Lehigh and went on to earn a Master's of Business Administration from Harvard University. His professional accomplishments are many, and his deep connection and dedication to his alma mater truly secures his Lehigh legacy. Mr. Smith co-founded and led the optical networking pioneer Sycamore Networks from 1998 to 2013. Sycamore developed optical networking products that transformed the industry and greatly advanced the use of fiber optics communication and the delivery of high-speed data services. Mr. Smith's commitment to Lehigh University has made an impact that will last for generations on the academic and athletic lives of Lehigh students. He and his wife, Elizabeth Riley, support many university initiatives, and their contributions have benefited many facets of Lehigh education, from research to facilities, scholarships, and athletics. What is equally impressive is his personal involvement and leadership at Lehigh. He has served as a member of the Board of Trustees for 12 years and served as board chair from 2007 to 2012. Under his leadership, Lehigh continued its growth and progress, and he led us to many new accomplishments as an institution. Dan, your success in the optical networking industry and your leadership and generosity to Lehigh are outstanding. We are proud to recognize your professional and personal achievements with this honorary degree today. The provost will now read this formal citation to you while we present you with the diploma and hood and applaud your accomplishments.
Mr. Daniel Smith, in acknowledgement of and appreciation for your contributions to new insights and technologies in fiber optics communications, and your commitment to and passion for Lehigh, the trustees of Lehigh University, upon recognition of the Lehigh faculty, honor you today by conferring upon you the Doctor of Humane Letters degree, honoris causa.
Thank you to all of our honorary degree recipients for being part of our ceremony today. So congratulations, graduates of 2014. It is a joy to be with you and your families, professors, and friends on this special day. We are graced with the presence of distinguished honorees, Martin Barron, Martha McCarthy, Arvind Sharma, and Daniel Smith, and we thank them for joining us for this important ceremony. In 2010, you came to Lehigh University to forge a new life. You left your family, your friends, your school, and your home. You left behind what you knew for what you wanted to know. In your first days at Lehigh, you were living with people you had only just met. You attended classes in obscure buildings with funny names like Christmas Sawkin. And you studied subjects that seemed only faintly familiar. You navigated your way through new surroundings. When you arrived here, you thought it would work out, although you felt some trepidation, but you took the risk. Lehigh University took a risk on you too. Your essays were compelling, your scores and grades and accomplishments showed promise, but we didn't fully know you. How would you respond to the rigorous intellectual environment? How would you adjust to people from places and cultures that were different from yours? How would you deal with the social pressures of your new community? We didn't fully know you, but we believed in you. And today we celebrate the fact that the risks you took and the risks Lehigh took were worth it. We both made the right decisions. You made new friends, expanded your intellectual boundaries. You succeeded. And Lehigh found that you were an even better, more complete person than your tests, grades, and essays suggested. When my family and I arrived at Lehigh in 2006, we, like you, in 2010, we changed homes, schools, friends, and work for a new life and future. We took a risk just as Lehigh took a risk on me. We all take risks, small and large, and these often become turning points in our lives. We're inspired by those who have taken big risks, and by doing so, changed the trajectory of their lives. We learn from their example. I spoke recently with Kaz Denson, class of 1956. Kaz took a big risk in coming to Lehigh in 1951 as the first and only African-American student at Lehigh at that time. He was told that he was an experiment, and he was assigned no roommate. He told me that this was hard, scary, and lonely. As he wrote years later in the Alumni magazine, he was a minority of one. Yet Kaz told me that, in his view, the DeVos sisters, Paul Franz, the administration, and the trustees took a risk on him. Both Lehigh and Kaz benefited from the risks taken on both sides. Professor Denson's fortitude and persistence paid off. He became an executive at General Electric, a hugely successful entrepreneur, a chemical engineering professor, dean, and then vice provost for research at the University of Delaware. And he is one of Lehigh's most distinguished alumni. We should learn from Kaz's example. We too should extend ourselves and take risks. Today, students, faculty, staff, and leaders at Lehigh take risks by speaking honestly and openly about the issues they face and the problems they experience. Open dialogue is a risk that raises awareness and helps us improve. We all have a little bit of Kaz Denson in us, and we can rally that spirit to make Lehigh and the world a better place. Today you leave for the less cocooned and less structured life beyond Lehigh. You are heading out into the so-called real world. It is time to think about what risks you will take. How much can you push yourself? How can you make the most out of your experiences at Lehigh? Lehigh breeds risk takers. We push students into Iacocca internships or mountaintop experiences. We foster entrepreneurship at all levels, from first-year students through professors. We engage in difficult conversations about every manner of topic, as a good academy should. Our graduates reach high. Their focus is on how to succeed, not what happens if they don't. They believe in themselves. They have confidence in their abilities. Consider the risks taken and heights reached by other Lehigh alumni, like Dan Smith and Marty Barron. Dan is a serial entrepreneur. He went into the Navy. He earned an MBA. He then co-founded Cascade Communications and Sycamore Networks and is on the board at United Office. He has a few new ventures in the works, and he knows well the risky world of entrepreneurship. Marty clearly took risks as he moved from the Miami Herald to the Washington Post via the LA Times, New York Times, and Boston Globe. He reached high, going from the newsroom to the editorial desk to the executive editorship. He knows and weighs the risks in the news business every day. What will you do? How will you test your mettle and push beyond the comfortable? What will you do in that real world? How bold will you be? Today you leave the comfort of South Mountain. It is your time to take new risks and shape the future. You have already shown that you can do amazing things. You have made your mark in entrepreneurship with successful startups and a giant dinosaur. In catalysis, in design with futuristic cars and smart clothing, as phage hunters, through designing and building community gardens, and as a Patriot League Women's Golfer of the Year. Now, after the celebrations are over, after you take a well-deserved break from the hard work, get back in there and tackle the real world. Put your talents and passions to work. You already know how. I too will soon be leaving South Mountain to take up a new challenge. It has been my privilege to lead this great university. I will remember the lectures, the football games, the concerts, the plays, the groundbreakings, and the ribbon cuttings. I will be inspired by memories of hard work Lehigh embraced to design the Greenway, create a community school, build water systems in Honduras, to triumph over Duke in basketball. I will remember how impressed I was by students as they juggled their artistic pursuits in the choir or orchestra with their internships, interviews, service projects, and travel to the far reaches of the world. I will remember the stories of alumni and how what they learned at Lehigh impacted their great lives. I will most remember the discussions and debates with students, alumni, faculty, and friends. So I leave you with 5 things, among many things that I learned from my time at Lehigh. From Joe Sterrett, class of 1976, be purposeful about your values and principles. Number 2, from Dexter Baker, class of 1950, never accept the status quo. Number 3, from Kevin Kennedy, class of 1977, in a world of uncertainty, take ambiguity and make it mean something to others. Number 4, from the Lehigh Jazz Ensemble, be prepared to improvise, elaborate on a theme. And number 5, from Arvind Sharma, keep an open mind. Aim high, take risks, believe in yourself. I wish you happiness and fulfillment in all aspects of your life. Congratulations. We now come to the primary reason that we are here, to confer degrees earned during the past academic year. All degrees are awarded upon the recommendation of the faculty with the endorsement and consent of the trustees of Lehigh University and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the board. We will recognize each candidate by reading his or her name. We respectfully request that all candidates remain in their seats until called upon and return to their seats until all diplomas have been distributed. Thank you in advance. I would now like to recognize Donald E. Hall, the Herbert J. and Ann L. Siegel, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences.
Good morning. The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the College of Arts and Sciences will rise, please. President Gast, each of these candidates has completed all the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in her or his special field, and upon recognition of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please, everyone, recognize the Doctors of Philosophy with our hearty congratulations and applause. I will now present the candidates for master's degrees in the College of Arts and Sciences. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts and Master of Science please rise? President Gast, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the master's degree in her or his field of specialization. And upon recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Master of Arts or Master of Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Everyone, please recognize the master's degree recipients with our hearty congratulations and applause. And now, will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science in the College of Arts and Sciences please rise? President Gast, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for graduation, and upon recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees is presented to you to receive the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Sciences.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please, everyone, recognize the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science recipients with your hearty congratulations and applause. The ushers are bringing the candidates from the College of Arts and Sciences forward. The candidates will be recognized and receive their diplomas.
The following graduates are receiving a doctorate level degree. Joanna Margaret Toll Blake.
Joshua Brandon Slee.
Pen Cheng.
Quan Tan.
Brian Peter Crow.
Minghu Wang.
John Truen Fong.
Sarah Perkins Albano West Cora.
Marcela Beatrice Gamalo Tour.
Ying Ying Yung.
Alexander Daniel Halprin. Following graduates are receiving a master's level degree. Alessandra Maria Basso of Henrich.
Gilmar Orestes Morago Fernandez.
Zachary Joseph Biro.
Courtney Samantha Weintraub.
Teresa K. Conover.
Jared Scott Barnes.
Lynn Farley.
Jordan Ann Ayal.
Megan Elizabeth Gels.
Peter Tony Karam.
Jean Gabrowski.
Patrick O'Brien.
Jolene Margaret Jarrett.
Angelica Matos.
Kai-Fi Gale.
Natalie Sermanchevska.
Yanbing Kong.
Michelle Elise Spicer.
Yasin Lee.
Veen Hai Zin.
Alexis Jessica Leon.
Terry Price.
Carl Wilbert Brisso.
Yu Meng.
Noelle Catherine Smart. Joseph Volz. Scott Matthew Fox. Nadia Marie Sasso. Renee Catherine Bisking. Emily Jane Rao. Jill Rebecca Freuson. Eli Chi. Jocelyn Desiree Providence. Peter Kosiski. The following graduates are receiving a bachelor's level degree. Grace May Abel.
Andrew S. Zaveni.
Samantha Hanna.
Sierra Maria Rosario,
Hannah Cho,
Rachel Lee Whittemore,
Jennifer Tai-Ling Chow,
Abigail Rebecca Michelini,
Natalie Louise Frenberg,
Hannah Reardon Rutan,
Ashley Laura Kreitz,
Catherine Lauren Suma,
Emily Elizabeth Hollander,
Carolina Elna Sophia Matson,
Kayla Kristen Halbrecht,
Lauren Stephanie Z. Ryford,
Caitlin Rebecca Deisley,
Catherine Lee Schnall,
Carol Sammy Gerges,
Chuto Yang,
Ganesh Dinsher,
Iwei Yang,
Nicholas Joseph Brunda,
Christopher James Apile,
Ginny An,
Jesse Lee Rolls,
Natalie Rose Huber Rodriguez,
Anna Obed,
Christina Allison Kavanaugh,
Valerie Barbara Phillips,
Gregory Allen Edwards,
Rachel Elizabeth Zankman,
Benjamin Gregory Hain,
Catherine Aurora Swanson,
David Michael Jabba,
Michael Angelo Santana,
Gregory Andrew Cantor,
Brianna Lee Cecilia Palmater,
Kevin Forrest Dodd,
Kevin Charles Zubor,
Lucia Gabriela Cavero,
Stephen Anthony Mano Bianco,
Casey Daniel Conley,
Joseph J. Munier,
Tanuj Rajir Shockley,
James Sungbon Su,
Pablo Thomas Diego,
Alexa Nicole Pastuk,
Raj K. Delsania,
Danielle Sin,
Vincent Travis Klumps,
Kelly Dante Petty,
Cassera Ackerman,
Brandon Daniel Reyes,
Martin Brian Bearlove,
Raul Carmichael Sterling,
Edward Anthony Ferrandez,
Naomi Nia Sterling,
Chad Daniel Ifa,
Nigel Malik Muhammad,
Lu Ming Hao,
Noah Joseph Tamares,
Helena Chang,
Stephanie Ann Ceratello,
Michelle Miso Choi,
Daniela Rossi,
Dallas Beth Atagracia Galvez,
Chelsea Danielle Ugald,
Sana Ashraf,
Joe Emmanuel Rendon,
Anna Marie Cruz,
Laura Elizabeth Steffen,
Ricky Jerome Hill Jr.,
Samantha Marie Scott,
Christine Maria Hubley,
Carly Michelle Smith,
Aston Judge Hood,
Gina Tiskevich,
Robert Michael Holloman II,
Julie Sarah Stommel,
Courtney Edward Jarvis III,
Jillian Lorraine Sibio,
Zachary William Hayden,
Amanda Marie Stillwell,
Ryan Kunz,
Brian James Sullivan,
Caitlin Elizabeth Hess,
Ryan White,
Amanda Marie Curry,
Danica May Palacio,
Chelsea Ray Evans,
Cody John Raup,
Kara Lynn Beckmeyer,
Keith Leon Sherman,
Stephen William Amel Kerben,
Haley Moss,
Robert William Garthwaite III,
Nicole Elizabeth Ward,
Jessica Ernst,
Kayla Lee Strohs,
Stephanie Leslie Jacques,
William Frank Harry Muir,
Lanshi Lee,
Stephen Daniel Magre,
Shen Chen,
Emmanuel Tyler Willis,
Jack Daniel Giampolo,
Patrick Siez,
Frank Anthony Capraro,
Alexis Nicole Wachter,
Alex Michael Levine,
Victoria Mary Oliva,
Brian James Graylis,
Martin Otieno,
Kelsey Aaron Kaplan,
Paul Oyetis Tosin,
Kathleen Eileen Costello,
Ryan Kenneth Paquin,
Sarah Von Seal Johnson,
Darcy Frisch Monahan,
Lee Maria Geshaw,
Courtney Elaine Meyer,
Olivia Fitzmaurice Shan,
Megan Moore Pulliam,
Emily Tamara Gallen,
Kristen S. Wilkowski,
Brady Eileen Dobin,
Frederick James Perrine,
Tori Cecile Harrison,
Scott James Von Stein,
Eileen Rose Freed,
Sean William Napier,
Jennifer Daniela Alpert,
Ryan James Pfluger,
Emily C. Gorson,
Amar Shah,
Lindsay S. Collins,
Catherine Mary Oliver,
Claire Harper Englund,
Aubrey Lynn Skolnick,
Elizabeth Eleanor Freno,
Sophia S. Yee,
Yujin Lee,
Melissa Ann Tickle,
Jane Hillary Glickman,
Maifan Parnace,
Emily Ann Capace,
Edward Jacob Pizicki,
Andrew McPherson Baylor,
Stephanie Souza,
Jamil Joy Altman,
Jacqueline Alexa Werner,
Therese Ann Corcoran,
Maria Teresa Mejia,
Kylie Alexis Gray,
Connor Thomas Tate,
Catherine Ann Baglio,
Max Henry Ruttenberg,
Marissa Ann Galante,
Matthew William Messerschmidt,
Brooke Sarah Esther,
Benjamin David Schwartz,
Catherine Kelly Howley,
Giovanna Patafio,
Lisa Ann Esposito,
Stephanie Ann Yazemski,
Kaylee Allison Billings,
Samantha Jill Major,
Catherine Mary Balker,
Marie Elizabeth Mignonia,
Michael Lewis Enney,
Caitlin Marie Mitchell,
Jonathan Bennett Zubkoff,
Hillary Mariah Weaver,
Blake Harrison Kramer,
Alexandra Jean Vivian Yanzi,
Augustus Islington Ibsen,
Megan Robertson,
Gideon B. Drucker,
Theon Tenzin Nyandok,
Ronald Antonio Medina,
Aislinn Danielle Rowan,
Jake Ian Gubritz,
Haley Alexandra Smith,
Andrew Robles Bryce,
Hannah M. Pierce,
Claire McCormick Woodward,
Peggy Angela Lai,
Abigail Joy Gendler,
Chandler Elizabeth Nuvara,
Alexandra Jade Granoz,
Marissa Nicole Reposh,
Chloe Elizabeth Licio,
Jordan Nicole Dykeman,
Allison Roselle Berman,
Leah Christine Paulson,
Mai Hannon,
Arella T. Scalisi,
Megan Reardon Kirshner,
Nicolette Sham Sra,
Janie DeLato Wassel,
Brianna Helen O'Connor,
Catherine Marie Oakes,
Kellen Michaela McCarthy,
Emily Lynn Torsiva,
Jacqueline Gabrielle Tamaris,
Alexandra Nicole Barone,
Sarah LaRossi,
Rebecca Jill Factor,
Barbara Oborna,
Elizabeth Mary Keenan,
Sarah Michelle Spiegel,
Haley Elizabeth Baldwin,
Anna Mae Marguerite McGinty,
Peter Louis Burstein,
Ashley Morgan Quigley,
Ellie Victoria Irwin,
Kristen Michelle Taft,
Sergio Hosea Fernandez Soto,
Elizabeth Ann Odrin,
Nina Catherine Kelly,
Eric Simpler,
Alexandra Jean Alst,
Jonathan Peter Studwell,
Moira Kathleen McCowan,
Sarah Jane Titchner,
Thomas Barnes Gregg,
Amelia Visioli Celebi,
Daniel I. Jakubowicz,
Haley Noel O'Mara,
Michael T. Amadon,
Natalie Louise Stevenson,
Joseph
Overstein.
Kenneth Diley,
Allison Faye Matola,
Trista Kate Bartol,
Alyssa Nicole Sherry,
Camille Suzanne DeLavo,
Lindsay Hannah Myman,
Shayna Lee Bolton,
Julia Ruxin,
Catherine Victoria Lester,
Emily Rose Rothkrug,
Jamie Lynn Califoot,
Matthew Lewis Toa,
Andrew Michael Delana,
Joseph Henry McNamara,
Rachel Rebecca Henke,
Daha Rabar,
Jeffrey Paul Leonard,
Catherine Ellen Sullivan,
Rachel Barry Brooks,
Julia Rebecca Tatios,
Jenna Sage Figman,
Chelsea Ray Ritalegato,
Sarah Paige Bolland,
Cody Terrence Newton,
Michelle Kaplan,
Tyler Price Ward,
Gregory Blake Davis,
Ashley Marie Yancey,
Andrea Camelia Atali,
Lisa Mogami,
Jamie Delapel,
Carla Gabriela Prieto,
Catherine Rose Croce,
Alex Watson Smith,
Thomas Hanlon Fox III,
Joseph Atkinson Sally,
Evan Epstein,
Elizabeth Anno Pacalo,
Lauren Elizabeth Jacobson.
Eamon Alfred Tulin Rogers.
Claire Elizabeth Cooper.
Randy Lynn Strauss.
Samantha Frangos.
Candace Catherine Travis.
Allison B. Carson.
Matthew Robert Werkheiser.
Aaron Kapu Apunale.
Keegan Alistair Nichols.
Joshua Barnett Kent.
Rebecca Faye Silverman.
Mallory Catherine Bear.
Margaret Jane Van Valkenburg.
Amber May Kusner.
Allison L. Mango.
Lauren Elizabeth Bradford.
Hannah Ann Nardi.
Rebecca Lacey Costaldo.
Edgar McKnight IV.
Ellie Craig McGuire.
Garrett Patterson Shea.
Elena DeSantis.
Caesar Augusto Ramirez.
Emily Keithton Gibbs.
Kevin Tobin McCarthy.
Constant Austin Coates.
Carolyn Welch Tucker.
Christine Suzanne Frappich.
Elena O'Flaherty.
Patrick Joseph Adusi.
Robin Vaughn Pertusi.
Nicholas Kenneth Ivers.
Sarah Alexis Siegel.
Chelsea Chesner.
Hallie Rachel Mazzari.
Lindsay Leanne Hoskins.
Andra Brooke Portnoy.
Catherine Elizabeth Hums.
Andrew J. Moody.
Taylor Nicole Hampshire.
Brandon Michael Saltzman.
Jenai Persis Billamoria.
Ian Michael Stanford.
Sarah Jane Fathom.
Atia Corvette Phillips.
Kelsey Marie Lee.
Dane P. Thomas.
Lawrence Roland Auberg.
Melissa Ann Pluster.
Jonathan Thomas Glick.
Kwao Min Tun.
Adam Winslow Long. Celia Fung. Yeah. Courtney Lee Chamberlain. Laura Signa Sina Hoover. Brittany Elaine Cunningham. Tiffany Margot Coopersmith. James Philip Bowen. Maren Rose Galina. Maura Catherine Kelly. Sarah Allison Glickstein. Jane Ruth Givens. Maximilian Christopher Perricone. Sarah Elizabeth Tischbein. Megan Lynn Devaney. Bridget Mary Joyce. Jacob Jonathan Silber. Carolyn Mary Rago. Mary Beth Lyons. Jennifer Kelly Lewis. Erica Prudence Gold. Rachel Renee Charles. Amanda Jane Clark. Robert Russell Hart Jr. Murphy Page Greeley. Gwendolyn Madam Gummersall. Paige Elena Cruzy. Paige McCall Dyrick. Rose Teresa Vita. Alyssa Rose Griffin. Emily Ann Stackhouse. Caitlin Gavalchin. Cody J. Ferraro. Ryan Jeffrey Budenbaum. Harrison Lawrence. Kyle William Lucas. Andrew Murray Douglas. Ian David Garsman. Daniel Jason Aguilera. Rylan Desmond Collins. Corey Goodman. Mark Klaus. Caitlin Michelle Campbell. Andrew C. Garrison. Alec Frank Crosser. Gregory Morse Barber. Maria Cristina Sofia de Cordoba. Amanda Claire Rhodes. Nicole Davis Lamb. Bryn Elizabeth Killeen. Tess Smith Brooks Fleming, Lauren Elizabeth Goey, Melissa Jill Harrens, Sarah Helen Gulick, Lauren Marie Glacken, Gung Kai Lee, Leo Andrew Atkinson, Connor Patrick Kakovich, Matthew Scott Chanuski, Caitlin May Dennington, Chelsea Lynn Coopersmith, Katie Lynn Grillo, Hannah Kim, Brianna Marie Zaragoza, Anna Lim, Corey Nelson Hernandez, Jonathan Daniel Sussman, Emily Susan Chambers, Benjamin Morton Forer, Rahul Peter Yukich, Christopher Walton Carson, Nathaniel Philip Hutchinson, David Q. Bogard, Dominique Alicia Brown, Lisa Paola Robertson Perez, Ivy Uchiang, and Jacqueline Botello.
I now recognize Thomas Hyclack, Interim Dean of the College of Business and Economics.
The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the College of Business and Economics will rise. President Gast, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in his or her special field, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the Doctors of Philosophy with our hearty congratulations and applause. I will now present the candidates for master's degrees in the College of Business and Economics. Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Accounting and Information Analysis, Master of Science in Analytical Finance, and Master of Educational Leadership in Business Administration please rise? President Gast, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the master's degree in his or her special field, and upon recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Accounting and Information Analysis, Master of Science in Analytical Finance, or Master of Educational Leadership and Business Administration, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the master's degree recipients with our hearty congratulations and applause. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business and Economics please rise? President Gast, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for graduation, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees is presented to you to receive the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business and Economics.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business and Economics with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the Bachelor of Science degree recipients with our hearty congratulations and applause. The ushers are bringing the candidates from the College of Business and Economics forward. The candidates will be recognized and receive their diplomas.
The following graduate is receiving a doctorate level degree. Cheng Chen. The following graduates are receiving a master's level degree. Pamela Mary Abraham.
Scott Allen Marshall.
Richard Lloyd Alborn.
Dean C. Wynn.
Anthony Barra Vecchio.
Joshua John Roche.
Snahal Sakaram Bendhully.
Prakash Navalagatti.
Erica Lynn Butler.
Michael A. Wickham.
Yun Chen.
Zong Si Hung Wang.
Jeffrey Scott Davis.
Eric Tompkins.
Arlo Mayers Eby III.
Tarek Samuel Malouf.
Kyle G. Erlacher.
Maureen Whitley Rinkunas.
Kevin Patrick Gray.
Young Ming Sun.
Ann T. Huang.
Zi Ki Wang.
Chang Li Shea.
Wei Sun.
Thomas Yunchul He.
Dino Vincent Sakani.
Ricky Koshal.
David Jason Watt.
Roshan Kurdzaliv.
Bradley Paul Weghorst.
Matthew Anthony Kitchie.
Michael M. Prestoy.
Catherine Nicole Kreiner.
Jeffrey Wilson.
Brian Edward Kutz.
Maria M. Hatalis.
Quinn Deng.
Edan Tang.
Han Du.
Lian Wu.
Baichen Fan.
Fong Zhang.
Yu Feng.
Ray Zhang.
Yan Zhao.
Yu Jing Zung.
Zheyue Zhao Han.
Ji Zhang.
Yi Lun Yu.
Xu Zhang.
Yating Hu.
Tan Yo Xing.
Xia Hua.
Fan Shu.
Ching Li.
Ri Han Xia.
Mambi Li.
Yao Chao.
Tao Jin.
Tian Yang Zhu.
Zhao Wen Kang.
Kara Leighton Twing.
Jixia Ding.
Ethan Isaac Spielholtz.
Lu Li.
Mi Chao.
Chen Lu.
Shu Ling Yang.
Kan Hu.
Tian Cheng Xing.
Meng Ching Li.
Hao Yu.
Zheng Tao Li.
Wei Jing Yu.
Selyun Bo.
John Shooting John.
Shan Yu Felix Kong.
Young Young Shaw.
Ying Jiang Bai.
Alan S. Wong.
Yi Jewel Sui.
Fong Wong.
Kei Han Gong.
Ling Chuan Chu.
Han Han.
Ju Chang.
Sing Yuan Lian.
Hu Man Wu.
Young Tre.
Swang Chao.
Yang Chen.
Jin Mei.
Eric Michael Goldstein.
Bai Yu Zhu.
Cameron Oliver Gibbs.
Kung Ju Yang.
Samuel Jason Dember.
Yu Ning Ya.
Andrew Michael Tai.
Jen Wang.
Joseph Patrick Antonucci.
Fei Wu.
You're undergrad, right? Yeah. Oh, that's super.
Bu Tao Wang.
The following are receiving bachelor's levels degrees. Wesley Corwin.
Okay. Paula Salvato.
Jillian Taylor Forbes.
Andrew Charles Metro.
Brandon Ross Leeds.
Jovan Robert Campbell.
Keith Breton Fowler.
Dominic Joseph Murillo.
Charles Gay Frankovich.
Jake Ross Weinreb.
Glenn Brown DuPaul.
Christopher Michael Mariano.
Eugene Wyatt Bibat.
Rachel K. Stein.
Megan Ann Carter.
Jennifer Marie O'Leary.
Michael James Chiatis.
Rebecca Emily Newman.
Shao Yao Fu.
Hema Chandrakant Patel.
David H. Canfield.
Margie Guan.
David Jesse Hines Jr.
Sarah Grace Mack.
Iru Wang.
Maggie Shu.
Martin Lawrence Hendrick.
Alexander James Marcantonio.
Mary J. Brune.
Scott Thomas Pritchard.
Mark Francis Simone.
Chen Zong.
Ko Yazaki.
Hanlon Sun.
John Daniel Haidt IV.
Marcus Berger Vincent Rislin.
Joseph Michael Lodato.
Nick Joseph Petit.
Damon Michael Gauman.
Robert Emerson Murray.
Amalia Hatalis.
Drew Samuel Pecker.
Isalnu Majid Mahmoud.
Kimberly Marie Peralta.
Karel Gordachik.
Allison Helen Russo.
Alexandre Francis de Villers Delano.
Dana Alexandra Arini Zeglum.
Joanne Chow.
Ava Pentelli.
Kathleen Teresa Larkin.
Elizabeth Kate Miller.
Megan Nicole Bricker.
Allison Gail Mousseau.
Caitlin Keefe.
James Thomas Miller.
Alexander Fitzpatrick.
Matthew Stephen Oil.
Rachel Elizabeth Santoro.
Joel Michael Robinson.
Maria Elizabeth Corrales.
William Shipley Robinson.
Jessica Wendy Liu.
Joshua Leary McGrew.
Allison Margaret Huckfeld.
Andrew Prescott Statsky.
Jenna Bono.
Ryan Christopher Mazel.
Alexander Colton Derish.
Christopher Edmund Stapleford.
Celia Lee.
Henry Robert Nabolts.
Annika Lynn.
Lucas Michael Wichterzak.
Philip Shao.
Tyler James Stoffer.
Alexa Ray Ulias.
James Patrick Madden.
Dylan Joseph Bukasi.
John Ashbrook McCann.
Tyler Brian Constantino.
Kevin E. Melendez.
Wesley Xavier Lotto.
Perry Max Silverman. Oh,
Alex Feltman.
Jeffrey J. Newman.
Brian David Hain.
Paige Margaret McDonald.
Sean Michael Connor.
Allison Amanda Segovia.
Nicholas Michael Cavaras.
Samantha Rachel Orland.
Miles Jordan Eisenman.
Jake L. Rubenstein.
Jordan Meredith Friedman.
Brandon David Silver.
Stephanie Marie Gerbron.
Nicholas Lee Nochek.
Stephanie Georgia Damascus.
Robert Aiken Schulman.
Alexander Gray Hyman.
Evan Andrew Sampson.
Rachel Eric Caracos.
Rachel Barry Sorokin.
Sean Michael Kochel.
Rosina Mary Whistle.
Alexander Sloan Pecan.
Marvin Pierre.
Sarah Christine Robinson.
Ethan Tyler Rubin.
Christina Ann Gretz.
Andrew Michael Zach.
Caitlin Marie Cooper.
Foster August Rankin.
Courtney Marie Enderly.
Corey Robert McCaddy.
Michelle Ashton Staub.
Aaron Page Meinert.
Ryan Anthony Burke.
Juliana Mikkel Sheff.
Alana Marie Burt.
Benjamin Zachary Mayo.
Emily Frances Bestwick.
Allison Jane Reiner.
Ashley Nicole Knowles.
Harry Lewis Nemoitin.
Michaela Rose Acton.
Michael Peter Miller Jr.
Samuel Rennick Cunard.
Robert Nevin Standish Saxon.
Bryson Alexander Kraft.
Christina Yen.
Benjamin Aaron Boren.
Elizabeth Trude Silverstein.
Christopher Hugh Hokey.
Sarah Elizabeth Pontanshinin.
Tamur Chernick.
Angela Rose Rodriguez.
Alejandro Alvarez Bejo.
Victoria Rose Siciliano.
Matthew Paul Lyons.
Lauren O'Brien.
Evan Franklin Eisworth.
Megan Kathleen Peedy.
Anthony Eric DeRazio.
Alexandra Michelle Morrow.
Ryan James Griffin.
Elizabeth Michelle Puzio.
Sean Michael Farrell.
Morel Rose Tendler.
Lee Moran Kerfus.
Selena Shang.
Kyle Whitman Lechner.
Ann Lee Orenstein.
Cody John Holt.
Maxine Phyllis Toro.
Timothy Michael Divers.
Lauren Meza.
Jeremy Eugene Bailey.
Alexander Harrison Pappas.
Eric Jeffrey Brown.
Andrew James Sherry.
Ryan Thomas Bowie.
Courtney Lynn McCutcheon.
Alexander Louis D. Clemente.
Caitlin Foley Kelleher.
Gerald Henry Bile.
Mercy L. Dew.
Matthew Alexander Jacobs.
Catherine Elizabeth Rouse.
Sean Michael Joy.
Brooke Ashley Hansel.
Justin David Berger.
Francesca Robbins Diamis.
Zenon Kang.
Kate Candela Novick.
Sin-Yu Gang.
Samantha Elizabeth Sager.
Shi Chen Chen.
Emma Briggs Shannon.
Kathy Lee.
Matthew Clay Risk.
Adam Heracles Balderas.
Ty Justin Souders.
Joshua Ian Flyer.
Andrew Clemens Moa.
Sebastian J. Boberg.
Elizabeth Estelle Iliano.
Harrison Colby Fanaroth.
Grant Dennis Atherholt.
Scott Kaysen Kettig.
Aaron Beck.
Ryan Cole Lichtenberg.
Jeffrey Lewis Boozen.
Jessica Ashley Long.
Andrew J. DeLuca.
Michael B. Heitzman.
Jordan Ross Levy.
Daniela Ritter Baxter.
Daniel Richard Lisowski.
Erin Christine Bankaitis.
Lauren Amy Hockman.
Zachary Freeman.
Paul Matthew Graham.
Daniel Brett Korf.
Sarah Margaret Glynn.
Sophia Barrio Nuevo.
Allison Jimmy Harada.
Ryan John Knaus.
Jeffrey Lawrence Heiner Jr.
John Paul Siverdelli.
Danielle Dazudov.
Karen Lee Bellinger.
Kelly Bernice Conway.
Lindsay Virginia Mayrose.
Brianna Gardell.
Lauren Helene Krynick.
Vanessa Arvidsson.
Christopher Ross Holt.
Nicasio Stephen Arroyo. Jose Nelson Castellon. Joshua Richard Friend. Zachary Lee Ball. Mark Joseph Fonseca. Dennis Joseph Appello. Yegor Amplayev. Douglas Oliver Bajan. Heather Mary Camperson. Noelle Veronica Rogers. Jessica Lynn Kenzor. Danielle Page Albergo. Brooks Foray Frey. Mina Blossom. Megan Claudia Dano. Kevin Andrew Binko. Andrew Keller. Joshua David Bagley. Matthew Ian Gore. Daniel Nicholas Brodsky.
I now recognize Gary M. Sasso, Dean of the College of Education.
Will the candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Education and Doctor of Philosophy please rise? President Gast, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Education or Doctor of Philosophy in his or her special field, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Education or Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the Doctors of Education and Doctors of Philosophy with our hearty congratulations and applause. Will the candidates for the degree of Educational Specialist, Master of Arts, Master of Education, and Master of Science please rise? President Gast, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for Educational Specialist or the master's degree in his or her field of specialization, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Educational Specialist, Master of Arts, Master of Education, or Master of Science, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the Educational Specialists and Master's degree recipients with our hearty congratulations and applause. The ushers are bringing the candidates from the College of Education forward. The candidates will be recognized and receive their diplomas.
The following graduates are receiving a doctoral level degree. Denise Marie Bressler.
Vanessa Josephine Pressimone.
Karen Helene Gomez. Tiandan Wang.
Thanks.
Erin Sarah Leishman.
Just wait.
The following graduates are receiving an Educational Specialist or a master's level degree. Jill Catherine Anderson.
Okay. Tenley Ann Hallequist.
Alicia J. Ashner.
Cassandra L. Petrosky.
Jessica Lynn Bauer.
Eva Marie Puhala.
Jessica Elizabeth Brown.
Michael Joseph McCrary III.
Catherine Elizabeth Buck.
Alex Peter Orlabeek.
Sarah J. Burke.
Andrew Nader McCool.
Allison Paige Castellano.
Gretchen Marie Tillett.
Clifford John Castoral.
Allison Kate Bear.
Gina Luria Chinoni Gula.
Bushra Osturk.
Patricia Kim Cunningham.
Shay Elizabeth Slivko.
Erica Lynn Davis.
Carolyn Grace Gibson.
Dana Elise Dungan.
Lauren Patricia Nation.
Courtney Ann Fellner.
Olga Moon.
Greg Dietrich Freeman.
Nicole Brooke Schwartz.
Heidi Lane Freeman.
Catherine Diane Troutman.
Christy Lynn Gold.
Nicole Marie Saylor.
Brittany Marie Hunter.
Caitlin Marie Pluchinski.
Maria Levitas Melidis.
Alexandra Judith Shirant.
Alexandra Leigh Quiche.
Megan Rose Shem.
Ashley Rose Klitsch.
Zachary Tobias Snell.
Christina Kraft.
Andrea Marie Vargo.
Michael Fouché Jr.
Catherine Claire Morgans.
Corey Michael Nathaniel Huerta.
Erica L. Stefanovich.
Cameron Josephine Lan.
Luis Anthony Rivera.
Elizabeth Rose Tushio.
Emily Klein Murphy.
Lauren Nicole Christman.
Suzanne Marie Yeager.
Hannah Singer.
Jillian Kane Solazzo.
Julia Migdal Bressler.
Melanie M. Young.
Rachel Gwen Silver.
Victoria Marie Torres.
Tierney Eileen Gallagher.
Meenal Jog. Rachel Grace Waterman. Courtney Lynn Bach-Henkin. Jin Wang. Elizabeth Ann Van Oss. Andrea Lauren Nushki. Jennifer Say Yang. Rhonda Catherine Pavoris. Karina Torres. And Christina A. Edie.
I now recognize S. David Wu, Dean of the P.C. Rossin College of Engineering and Applied Science.
Engineers, are you ready? The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the P.C. Rossin College of Engineering and Applied Science, please arise. President Gast, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in his or her special field, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the vote of Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the Doctor of Philosophy with our hearty congratulations and applause. I will now present the candidates for master's degrees in the P.C. Rossin College of Engineering and Applied Science, or the candidates for degrees of Master of Engineering, Master of Science, and Master of Business Administration and Engineering. Please arise. President Gast, each of these candidates has completed requirements for the master's degrees in his or her field of specialization, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Master of Engineering, Master of Science, or Master of Business Administration and Engineering, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the master's degree recipients with the hearty congratulations and applause. Now, the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in the various fields of engineering and applied science, please rise. President Gast, each of these candidates has completed all the requirements for graduation, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the vote of the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive the degree of Bachelor of Science in that field of engineering and applied science for which the candidate has qualified.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Science in that field of engineering and applied science for which you have qualified, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the Bachelor of Science degree recipients with our hearty congratulations and applause. President Gast, I present to you the candidates for the interdisciplinary programs for the College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Business Economics, and the P.C. Rossin College of Engineering and Applied Science for the degrees of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Business, Bachelor of Science in Integrated Business and Engineering, and Integrated Degree in Engineering, Arts, and Sciences. Candidates for those degrees will arise. President Gast, each of these candidates has completed all the requirements for graduation, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the vote of Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive the degree of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Business, Bachelor of Science in Integrated Business Engineering, or the Integrated Degree Engineering, Arts, and Sciences for which the candidate has qualified.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Business, Bachelor of Science in Integrated Business and Engineering, or the Integrated Degree in Engineering, Arts, and Sciences for which you have qualified, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the recipients of those degrees with our hearty congratulations and applause. The ushers are bringing these degree candidates forward. The candidates will be recognized and receive their diplomas.
The following graduates are receiving a doctorate level degree.
Andrew Abraham.
Desal Song.
Nabil Artharti.
Andrew William Stockdale.
Elizabeth Emily Carter.
Alexander L. Weldon.
Brett Matthew Leister.
Zaihan Yang.
Lin He.
Daiwei Yin.
Ying Bai.
Rujen Yao.
Guangyu Lu.
Barack Ahmet Tuna. John William Rogers.
The following graduates are receiving a master's level degree. Abdul Mohsen Omar El Asayari.
Ezgi Pinar Yacintas.
Omar Mohammed Alawad.
Kenneth Roger Martin.
Jia Chang.
Evan Einbender Ahmad.
Che Chen.
Peter Wojnarowski.
Wenping Chen.
Zinning Jennifer Wang.
Min Chao Chen.
Joshua Leeds Rosen.
Anna Chen Chen.
Patrick Stevens McGuire.
Scott Ira Cohen.
David John Krobuck.
Christopher Heimbach.
Christopher John Kausman.
Scott Allen Carrington.
M.L. Denisco.
Lucas Hangdong.
Sarah Rose Newman.
Sai Du.
Walter Anthony Bagdon III.
Rahil Dhiren Desai.
Keith Bruce Conrad Martin.
Sarvesh Surin Air.
Francisco Junior Puente.
Tashwin Kaur Kurana.
Sir Michael Luis Martinez.
Shan Gao.
Daniel Doug Thareja.
Shenzhen Gu.
Christopher Stephen Hall.
Jeffrey G. Groman.
Fred Moore Carter III.
Nireg Kumar Dubey.
Platt Micah Gruber.
Leland Licardi.
Kimber Lee Lorraine Alston.
Hannah Rose Farragon.
Bryant Justin Reams.
Hillary Marie Brooker.
Amanda Shao.
Timothy Martin Huber.
Monisha Siraj Gio.
Kevin Patrick Curran.
Shainaz Nilamindin.
Zhenfeng Se.
Zachary Thomas Gao.
Shouhua Hu.
Daniela Mary Kutcher.
Ran He.
Jindu Cassie Tian.
Yuan Kong.
Lance the Dragon Master Fabia.
Shihang Zhang.
Glenn J. Adams.
Zhongzi Li.
Lisa Marie Glover.
Sean Lee.
Zachary Adam Rambo.
Sean Liu.
Nikhil Krishna Murthy.
Xin Wang.
Todd Lewis Sees.
Jingting Liu.
Laura Elizabeth Silvoy.
Lingyi Liu.
Chen Chen Yang.
JC Extine Gomez.
Piran Zhao.
Pierre John Bientcourt.
Blake from Tralger.
Carolyn Elizabeth Ferreira.
Kelly Lynn Reynolds.
Christopher R. Luskowieskiak.
Daniel Weishen Fang.
Roshin Hajian.
Kai Yang.
Danya Mary John.
Wenjuan Zhao.
Elise Caitlin Esposito.
Ling Tang.
Maura Jane Heffernan.
Chen Zhang.
Laura Marie Seeger.
Peian Zhou.
Anne-Marie Kushberger.
Meng Sun.
Zheng Lu. Xingjun Yu Lin. Jia Lu.
Jaisal Parek.
Jinzi Lee.
Pruneet Uprashto. Nimish Nitin Patil. Kim A. Patel. Tripti Pradhan. Milad Siami. Faro Mamadabadi. Shadow Sanford. William J. Hamilton. Alexander David Beers. John Ward Pilio. Olivia B. Parker. Carolyn Zelenetz. Yasira Alaziz. Douglas Wilson Nace. Lane Elizabeth Wilder. Stanley Wu. John Connor Stiles. Marvin Alfredo Monteroso. Thomas W. Berkeley. John McCarthy Archibald. Wesley Joseph Huseman. Yahang Wang. Dave A. Ramsey. Sarah Elizabeth Conde Healy. Rosemarie Russell. Rashida Oyetaler Oyagunli. David Ryan Huxley Cohen. Robert Wayne Smith. Toyo Kelly Oteri. Dean M. Wang. Kwame Sanam Afanefa Cedros. Zhu Shao. Yijun Wang. Saran Wang. Chil Bo. Vijay Tang. Junda Zheng. Johan Wang. Zubo Yan. Raul Rajendran. Jinhui Zhao. Chunchao Zhu. Renchao Wang. Rujun Wang. Chao Zhang. Ziquan Tian. Yuchen Wang. Shi Wang. Jeffrey Kiat Wei Ni. Vikit O. Charan. Vikram Mehta.
The following graduates are receiving a bachelor's level degree. Hannah Ruth Bukoski.
Rachel Wolf.
Megan Therese Lynch.
Mavika Kuruk.
Alyssa Mercedes Driscoll.
Chuvan Trang Nguyen.
Sarah Patrice Carey.
Miguel Angel Roman.
Victoria Rose Ammerman.
Cara Leanne Smalley.
Lucian Rita Nekti.
Allison Lynn Tafun.
Michael Henry Hyatt.
Mara E. Ringer.
Dashvinder Singh Daljit Singh.
Stacy Kamea Shawn.
Andrew Alexander Dunkers.
Kaylin Farrell Swartz.
Eric Douglas Curtis.
James Patrick Lohan.
Carmen Michael Lamachkia.
Georgie Pavlov.
Edward Tyler Hudgens.
Taylor Rose McGrath.
Marissa Jane Feynman.
Corinne Alyssa Pimentel.
Stephanie Elise Gordon.
Vanessa L. Ragucci.
Rebecca Lee Locke.
Lauren Tyler Villaverde.
Forrest William Holdcroft.
Lauren Elizabeth Migliore.
Julian Benjamin Carell.
Elizabeth Mohammed.
Dylan Cole DeMar.
Catherine Marie Varney.
Matthew James Hirsch.
Ardell Anissa Prasad.
Sean Michael Henwood.
Nicole Marie Perozzi.
Hayes John Brown.
Alyssa Warwick.
Nicholas Peter Roth.
Alyssa Magdalene Swanson.
Hayden Alexander Harrell.
Philip McClure Mims.
Matthew Frederick Smith.
Mark Mackenzie Mahoney.
James Ahoyes Cahill IV.
Ian Bailey McConville.
Austin John Orr.
Robert Cole Vargo.
Rodrigo Alfaro.
Gregory Scott Owen.
Alexander Frank Anapol.
Lubov Yankovskaya.
Christopher Ryan Ellis.
Ekam Uko.
Noah Philip Booth.
Colin Ryman.
Dylan James Kmetz.
Adam Murray.
William Rice Cugilio.
Meyer Alexander Merenstein.
Daniel Tyler Coombe.
Tiffany Janelle Penji.
Corinna Allison Lucchini.
Benjamin Thomas Sowerby.
Amos Joseph Edward Ambler.
James Paul McDermott.
Kelsey Lynn Barbet.
Alexander Gage Merlozzi.
Zachary Harris Liskay.
Samantha Lynn Burke.
Erin Rose Bonshek.
Andrew John Smith.
Jason Jeffrey Boileau.
Sean Daniel McKinney.
Zachary William Gant.
Mary Elizabeth Story.
Alexandru Azero.
Chelsea Sarah Shepsko.
Karen Lynn Haberland.
Nora Ann Stack.
Daniel Elliott Fain.
Daniel Robert Messina.
Amanda R. Debrow.
Carl L. Miller.
Matthew Austin Barrett.
Kyle Brady Stritch.
Matthew Taylor Golden.
Tyler James Sipe.
Second Lieutenant Tyler Mark Davenport.
William Adam Murdoch.
Second Lieutenant Jeffrey Lewis George Holinity.
Daniel Dennis O'Leary.
Second Lieutenant Jacob Ray Howell.
Daniel Shee.
Samuel R. Burnett.
Yoshiki Steve Takeyama.
James Alexander Heinzelman.
Jordan Christina Prochko.
Elizabeth May DePaulo.
Caitlin Rose Slattery.
Daniel Sung Rock Chu.
Suzanne Patrina.
Andrew Nobuto Kafera.
Julie Ann Odinger.
Aaron J. Barrick.
Janine N. Nakef.
Amen William Carroll.
Ryan Nicholas Prosser.
Matthew Warren Forrest.
Catherine Elise Morris.
Gwendolyn Mary Larson.
Mark Gregory McKenna.
Zachary Paul Shepard.
Matthew Walter Nickman.
Jordan Richard Birch.
Emma Elizabeth Miller.
Stephanie Jordan Errett.
Diana Settle.
Penelope Faith Dempkin Dick.
Joshua Benjamin Okrent.
Nicole Deskus.
Max Dillon Miller.
Sarah Elizabeth Early.
Zachary John Pelly.
Amy Victoria Kernick.
Brendan Alec Michael Sullivan.
Kevin R. Bergen.
Nicholas Tyler Oblas.
Sanju Lee.
James Joseph Feint.
Randall Joseph Ettori.
Neil S. Merchant.
Peter Arthur Bowseret.
Lyle Patrick O'Brien.
Matthew Philip Erbeck.
Tyler Clayton Muller.
Sean McCarran Tiki.
Nicholas Edward Molloy.
Max Kiss.
Ram Sinha.
Barry Bruno.
Kenneth Francis Wilkinson.
Shane Daniel Ioska.
Sungwon Eric Young.
Aaron H. Fink.
Derek Michael Weisberg.
Madeline Marie Dean.
Noah Okach Ongaro.
Nadia Marie Crook.
Tyle Nathaniel Treffin.
Jeffrey Luo.
Crystal Rose Schwenk.
William Curtis Higgins.
Elizabeth Grace Sander.
Raymond Thomas Hickey.
Spencer Levi Newton.
Andrew Edwin Callahan.
David Zachary Saska.
Angelo Vincent Agrifolio.
Andrew Palmer.
Vicky Lee Fluck.
Stephanie Marie Snyder.
Alexandra Liso.
Philip Matthew Trachtenberg.
Amy Lowe.
Evan Matthew Mullen.
Michael Edward Curley.
Charles Orvis Yingling.
Amanda Jane Crowley.
Price William Murray.
Thomas Paul Jowen.
Nathaniel Jacob Wigman.
Devin Alexander Coleman.
Ian Christopher Miller.
Brianne Enzer.
Rebecca Myfirth Alexandra Swatzik.
Rachel Lee Giampa.
Sonoko Sonny Nakatsoto.
Lindsay Elizabeth Frazier.
Brittany Beth Rasmussen.
Victoria Catherine Caruso.
Michelle C. O'Connell.
Lillian Tappan Guthorn.
Suzanne Kersey Mattel.
Alexander James Baylog.
Maria Kunjarati.
Stephanie Jane Lashau.
Amar Gunbold.
Bauman Bates John.
Christopher Patrick Clark.
Marie Carmen Duran.
Nicholas John Nadal.
Elliot Clifton Hers.
Conrad Need.
Jin Chen.
Kyle Arthur Meredith.
Jin Liang Li.
Dion Marcel Ross.
Richard Chang.
Laura Elena Mayera Suarez.
Chun Yu Li.
Timothy James Schutter.
Andrew Chung Chi La.
Daniel Patrick Shea.
Eric James Lowaiti.
Richard Scott Terwilliger.
Zachary Allen Daniels.
Eric Hilani Mills.
Daniel Joseph Goldstein.
John O'Connor.
Nancy Liu.
Brolin Xavier.
Rong Huang.
Matthew James Siddell.
Garrick Bensing.
Casey Thomas Maher.
Yulitza Hernandez Rivera.
Maxwell S. Whitings.
Alyssa Marie Dundero.
Ying Chin Ao.
Mayer Rao Garcanti.
Catherine Stevens.
Felix Brian Andrews.
Andrew Henry Wasilewicz.
David Wayne Dabrowski.
Hannah Catherine Marker.
Sean Joseph Brophy.
Jungwon Son.
Andrew Joseph Hanna.
Bradley Richard.
Casey Christine Hansel.
Adam Michael Schaub.
Curtis Joseph Giddings.
Gregory Joseph Sarr.
Nicholas Lay.
Brandon George Wilt.
Samuel Eric Lindberg.
John Jeremiah Sela.
Nellie C. Cherio.
Ryan Michael Ramirez.
Joshua Eric Barnes.
Joseph Michael Napoli.
Matthew Vincent Bernstein.
William Craig Marshall.
Justin Christopher Goodrich.
Nicholas Edward Rossler.
Devin Thomas Bostick.
Matthew Lewis Roth.
Ryan Timothy Fraunheiser.
Corey Joseph Novak.
Ryan Lee Butler.
Kirsten Sawitsky.
Kristen Jeremy Lynch.
Austin Norman Soot.
Hung Trudeau.
James Watley.
Christos Casamarias.
Connor William Thompson.
Caitlin Nicole Keller.
Alexander Natoni.
Daniel Philip Boileau.
Benjamin Yalen Horn.
Matthew John Boyer.
Pai Pai Young.
Michael John Manto.
Alexis Rubicalva.
Nicole R. Siaco.
Andrew Brian McLean.
Deirdre Lee Baker.
Waylon Radcliffe Washington Jr.
Alexander Thomas Brown.
Peter Eric Schader.
Andrew Patrick Arnold.
Dimitrios Giasamos Carreras.
Tyler David Brong.
Alexander Michael Smith.
Michael James Burke.
Andrew Lewis Serby.
Stephen Guther.
James David Meyercord.
Alec Arthur Chin Lee.
Marissa Elizabeth Thurrillo.
Matthew Ryan Lippincott.
Michael Patrick Ronan.
Keenan Vallis Black.
Delane Wong.
Benjamin Moe Fink.
August J. Villariz Polentz.
Eric James Braun.
Russell G. Vignale.
Mark Gregory DiRenzo.
Matthew Peter Salmon.
Philip Michael Deerdorf.
Kyle Johannes Pilar.
Curtis Isaiah Glover.
Viraj Singh.
Adam DeRaymond.
Aaron Jacob Sieve.
Robert Sean Irvine.
Ryan Devlin Zulo.
Ziyu Lee.
Anthony Vince Pachado.
Abdul Rahman Japar.
Eric Brian Weiss.
Suchon Kwe.
Peter T. Liziak.
Alexander G. Kuritzis.
Connor Robert Donovan.
Kevin Ferris Delphos.
Daniel Eitz Dongyong Yong Shin.
Caleb Michael Buchanan.
Jacob Norman Newman.
Peter John Dadadio.
Julian Roberto Pawlikis.
Andrew Robert Adamson.
Ling Tong.
Siddharth Nitin Deshpande.
Douglas Richard Stewart.
Ryan Patrick King.
Michelle Marie Patterson.
Kimberly Hetrick.
Michael Patrick Meehan.
Catherine Taylor Cummins.
Jillian Kate Sloan.
Mark Reeve Groman.
Aaron Schock.
Elizabeth Mary Alice Drummond.
Michael Alexander Amachibio.
Rebecca Marie Bay.
William Patrick Moran.
Hope Michelle Brosnan.
Kevin Andrew Mary.
Miranda Lee Gannett.
Brandon Lee Onopona.
Thomas Gregory Linz.
Brian Philip Marr.
Seth Thelonious Denberg.
Alexander Christina McMillan.
Michael Juleo.
Christopher James Sevilla.
Nicholas Malin Brusock.
Gabriel Jacob Rosenbreen.
Jeffrey Alexander Young.
Sarah Rebecca Miller.
Harrison James Clark.
David Melchuk.
William D. Dehan.
Varun Reddy.
Aaron Curry.
Christopher Aiden Tor McHugh.
Matthew Benjamin Herskowitz.
Yuja Hu.
Brian J. Wu.
Jonathan Sam Goldsmith.
Gregory James Cotili.
Nicholas Mathiasen.
Andrew Constantine Keene.
Ashley Lynn Ryan.
Brian William Klingen.
Kirtida Pati.
Jacob Yolan Cohen.
John Alexander Price.
Zachary Allen Davis.
Grayson Kiefer Pirelli.
James Isaac Guffey.
Michael Frank Toth.
Julia Haver Klitsky.
Andres Sebastian Ricalda.
Tyler Jordan Holcomb.
John Michael Merwin.
Joshua Paul Coombe.
Samir Redichovic.
Irze Zainab Kalkavan.
Alexander P. Radner.
Daniel Chadwick.
Vladimir Penkin.
Jin Mar Lat.
John Robert Conway.
Stephen Robert Stinson.
Ethan Lewis Radner.
Sean Henry Honig.
Catherine R. Mengi.
Brian William Ruza.
Bianca McGovern.
Nicholas Hirsch Gillette.
Spencer Lee Bergman.
Kenneth Miles Bailey Jr.
Blake Andres Urego.
Samuel K. Feinstein.
Lucas Enrique Tallera Herrera.
Jeffrey Lewis Levy.
Juan Pablo Yoteri Yaquian.
Adam Michael Janes.
Todd Gifford Siemens.
Alec Michael Lorraine.
Daniel J. Rosen.
James Edward Jerem. Chuan Phon Gul. Hao Lu. D. Kong. Danny Chen. David Miro Kolvek. Neil Emerson Cauzino. Jacob Samuel Epstein. Alexander James Frankel, Hirak Jayesh Amin, Rachel Maylee Friedman, Jason Alexander Kravik, Nigel Francis Correa, Ryan Philip DeMaca, Teresa Ann Chamberlain, Emily Ann Fariga, Edward Kyle Morgan, Matthew Thomas Annabelle, Ayan Idil Bakam, Kevin J. Hogenboom, Stephen Foster Ray Leonard, Alan Mateo Schremer, Andrew Weber Shang, Kyle George Brownell, Stephen Robert Louis, Nathan Isaac Casimir, Kyle Christian Bear, Kyle Adam Fernandando, Maximilian Michael Kanieski, Kelly Lynn Bloom, Stephen Thomas Ernst, Benjamin William Hodis, John Mackenzie Briscoe, Matthew Baxter Chiavarini,
I would now like to welcome Michael Connor, class of 1980 and a 2014 parent and former president of the Lehigh University Alumni Association, to address our newest Lehigh University alumni.
Thank you, President Gast. Congratulations to all of you, and welcome to the Lehigh alumni family. What you may not realize is that we in the Alumni Association have been thinking you of as part of this family since your very first days on campus. Most of you probably encountered the Alumni Association at your freshman rally, where you began to be introduced to Lehigh's marvelous traditions. We've been with you ever since, especially the members of the adoptive class of 1964. And we will continue to be with you. We will bring you news and events and special benefits and opportunities available only to Lehigh alumni. We offer you a first-class alumni career services function, and I urge you to take full advantage of that. But most of all, we bring you the Lehigh alumni family, which numbers more than 80,000 people around the world. And this is a powerful network, and we're here to help you make the most of it. Lehigh people are doers. Lehigh people make things happen. The members of the great class of 2014 will go on to help cure diseases, start groundbreaking companies, build great structures, perhaps win a Pulitzer or two, and change the world for the better. All of your fellow alumni will cheer your many successes and will be proud of the glory that these bring to your alma mater. And your Lehigh family can be an important, continuous part of your entire life as you build your careers, your families, and the many interests that you will pursue. I hope that you will each stay connected to Lehigh, whether you come back to campus for Young Alumni Reunion, homecoming, attend the Lehigh Lafayette telecast, stay in touch with your favorite professor, or become an active alumni volunteer. The Lehigh tie is a strong one, and I encourage you to make the most of this as you chart your own course. And so, it is my great privilege to welcome you to the Lehigh University Alumni Association. Congratulations. And now we will recognize your passage into the ranks of alumni with the traditional ringing of the bell on the 50-yard line. We are honored to have with us today many members of the class of 1964, seated up with us on stage. They adopted the class of 2014 during your freshman rally 4 years ago, and they are here again today to wish this class all the best. Representing the class of 1964 is their president, John DeNoia, and representing your class is your president, Sarah Tischbein. They will now ring the bell to officially welcome the class of 2014 as true Lehigh alumni.
Thank you, Michael. Following the recessional, please join Lehigh University's newest alumni at their college's reception in tents outside the south entrance of the stadium. And now, everyone please rise for the benediction and remain standing for the Alma Mater.
Go forth from this place with joyful hearts, awakened and renewed, seeking justice, attending to the neediest among us, choosing vocations that promote peace and cooperation, changing the world by being the change you wish to see in the world. In all of your efforts, in all that you accomplish, in all the obstacles you overcome, may you resolve to make room for faith and love, that you might, with open minds and compassionate hearts, care for and build up this fragile world. Let kindness guide you into fellowship with God and with all who are your neighbor, that you might know peace and bring it to others this day and evermore. Go in peace. Amen.
Stop.